notice how friable that was? That was because it's pretty dry once I put it into the freezer. It's kind of what I call just moist. But you see, even now there are little bits of lumps in it. But if I squeeze them, they just crumble. But let me stress, if that was very wet once I put it in the freezer, then believe me, that would just be one lump of ice. I'm sorry I'm looking away from you, but I need to see what I'm doing. So if we put that into the mixer, that was 1 kilo or 1 litre, whichever one you prefer. It means the same thing in rough terms. So now we put the second kilo in, so that's 2 kilos of white mix, and we're going to put in 1 kilo of black mix. Now I've got to admit that normally I'm a lot less careful about this than I am being at the moment because you're videoing me. I just usually just pour it in, and I've got a pretty good sense of what's 2 kilos and what's 1 kilo. So now there's the 1 kilo going into the 2 kilos of white mix. Okay, so let's get rid of these. And now what we're going to talk about is the soft food. Now this is a soft food I actually formulated myself, and it's sold by Birds R Us. And if I tell you a little bit about it, about why we use it as opposed to anything else, because believe me, if there was anything else that I know of on the marketplace that was the equivalent of this or better than this, I'd be certainly very, very interested in it. But when I first came to Australia, I automatically thought, right, where do I get my best soft food from? And I went to some of the big pet shops and bought whatever they had on the shelf, and had a really good look at them. And obviously it's very hard to say just by looking at something what it contains nutritionally. So I phoned a couple of them up and said, would you mind telling me what's in your soft food? And tried to make it clear I didn't want to know the formula. I didn't get a very good response. I think they were very suspicious I was a competitor trying to find out exactly what they've got so I can compete with them, and that just wasn't true at the time at all. So I thought, well, okay, what I'll do is choose the ones I think are best, because there's consistency. Will the birds eat it? All this kind of stuff. And I cost $10,000 at a time. So I wanted to work, sort of downhill slowly, as you might say, because otherwise it was going to be a very expensive exercise. However, by misfortune or otherwise, the first one I sent away came back with the analysis that what I got there was crumbled biscuit and custard powder, would you believe? I thought it was egg. It wasn't even that. So I thought at $10,000 a kick, and that was the level of professionalism, or the maybe level of professionalism, to be fair, because there could be some really good stuff here. I just don't know about it. I decided what I would do is formulate my own. So that actually is what this is, my formula. And I was actually producing it and using it for my own birds. And I had actually thought of publishing the formula so everybody could use it. But the problem with that was that most of the ingredients were really difficult to get hold of, and a lot of the ingredients you had to buy the 20 kilo sack or 20 kilo container, as the case may be, and it wasn't a practical proposition really for the ordinary agriculturist to do. Anyway, along came John Barrett and said to me, look, if you'll let us sell that, give us the formula and let us sell it, I'll make a contribution for every box that we sell to the Save the Gouldian Fund. This is actually purchased now from Birds R Us. And what it is a concentrated soft food. It's a very concentrated soft food. Therefore, you don't need a huge amount of it. And it's got in it every single amino acid. Now, don't forget that everybody thinks there's only one protein. There isn't one protein at all. There's 20 amino acids that go to make 400 plus proteins. So if a box says it's got 15% protein or 20% protein, it's fairly meaningless, because that protein could be one amino acid. It's not likely, in fairness, but it could be. You don't know you've got the full complement. You don't know you've got the full complement of carotenes. You don't know you've got the full complement of minerals, of lipids, of vitamins, of whatever the case may be. So that's why I put this together, purely and simply to make sure that I had a full and complete soft food that at least I knew contained everything that the birds could require. So how do we use it? Well, let me show you. Inside is a plastic bag, which very conveniently I've already just cut the corner off. And in that 3 kilos of soft food, we need only 300 mils in. That's all you need. So it may be slightly more expensive to buy than the normal stuff, but it's very, very economical in use. As I said before, it's got absolutely everything in it. Absolutely. And so to mix it, all we do is give it a good stir in the old mixer. From there, it goes into one of these containers, and in our case, back into the freezer. Of course, you can feed it straight to your birds if that's what you wish. And this is what it looks like when it comes out of the freezer. Yeah, the odd lump, but all they do is, you see how easy they crumble? You literally just touch them and they fall apart. So, in other words, that really is just a friable mix. And you feed that straight out of the freezer. You don't have to defrost it, straight to the birds. And once again,